Kumasi, obviously, I know the biggest story. And Inti, where do you stand? What kind of agreement? No, it was saying a Yema Ghana, a woman about Boyen, about yen security home by ye as a country.
Mirasi Obi, Nedika, Mamicha, Etifon. Say, Mida Libian can say, security cooperation, the idea, especially to say we now have transnational crimes, being friend universal crimes. Crimes like genocide, terrorism, and drug trafficking, human trafficking. These are crimes any country specific. Actually, you can have a network of say crooks, criminals operating in 4 different countries at a go. So answer no bit me kuitia sanyo you would have to have cooperation with other countries and your mom. Security cooperation is very, very important. And security cooperation takes different forms. It could be in the form of bilateral arrangements, 2 countries and multilateral agreements. I mean, the forms are different. But in the long view, the object is one. Say, you bit me making sure there is world peace and stability. And in principle, bilateral security cooperation, however, in drafting and agreeing on the arrangements that exist between 2 countries, every country ought to look out for its national interest first. In fact, the very first reason EMA countries cooperate on matters of security, to advance their individual national interest. The US is not cooperating with Ghana because Omupe Ghana Semdodo, but they want to further their national interest, which is to make sure Omu citizens safe at all times. If it means coming to work with us to ensure that it happens on Beye, that is what is driving the foreign policy of the United States. And indeed every other country. If you study basic international relations, says self-interest of countries. And we are living in a realist world whereby self-interest is what drives countries, especially as they operate on the international stage. Into Obia national interest is driving on. Say a Beye agreement here. Beyond the collective interest now, yes, individual say, adiwe ebebuwa in the long view, and it is from that perspective, me by discussion and analysis of this agreement. Which agreement now? There are portions of it that are counterproductive. They are downright counterproductive. And Usha Article 2 I think Article 2 of the agreement, and say areas of cooperation, we are to allow them access to certain facilities, and to even areas Ghana designated operating, and that they would have exclusive access to some areas, and that there will be restricted access to others. What that means is a bit Ghana Penyufobi would be denied access to some facility.
Some of those agreed facilities.
And I'm passionate. And the article further suggests they would have access. Not only would they have access, but they indeed can use some of the facilities. They access are more. And from a honum, they can accommodate their personnel. They can even construct edifices. They can do deployment of personnel and our troops and what have you. These are functions of a military base. If you ask for the basic definition and meaning of a military base, functions are exactly. I mean, those are the exact things at a military base. And the question is, and everyone was people are running away and pretending this agreement is not going to entitle them to set up a military base. You may not necessarily insert the word military base there, but the functions of a military base are contained in that agreement. Okay. Until, in essence, a military base no be set up. As I say, US be set military base in Ghana. Ghana, my answer and my response to that is no. Because you see, once you have a military base in your country, where they are, it will interfere with your internal security arrangements. And even though we are cooperating at a security level, and say yet another sovereign country about our security.
Security bang.
Oh, sir, there are some pieces of security information now. Are SA exclusive to only the Republic of Ghana?
Really?
Of course. Do you think, sir, because of this agreement, we can access every information about security from the US? Debbie. And indeed, can't you be a new almost security agreement with the US? Everything about almost security arrangements. Debbie, US and you are enfeebling yourself. You can cooperate at a certain level, but at all levels. But once you have a base, and there are other portions of the agreement that give them some limitless access to almost everything there is security in this country. What am I saying? Secondly, once you have a military base, and we are running a unipolar world order, whereby the US is supposed to be the bigger power. And to Sebio, Omatan Fodoso, and to the extent that Uko Kenya, embassies of the United States have become targets.
Yes.
Simply because in some cases, and yet just because they have, you can say, security arrangements with them, just because they are friends with the US, constitute enough grounding for people to even attack their embassies. Much less over setting up a military base. What you say? And Anka, we could consider the possibility, say, you be more babies. But don't go for Nigeria. What you say? Omedu Nigeria higher. And I keep making the point that there are sleeper cells in this country. Let's not pretend that terrorists and there are sleeper cells here. They just need to be activated. And Yamin Pengu, I pray that day never comes.
Say by the mere setting up of what the emphasis military base in Yamio. No, maybe.
Okay.
What I'm saying is say just the setting up of a military base
could be
ebe opinion up to terrorist attack.
It could be.
Is that your way?
I'm not saying but it could be a trigger for terrorist attacks.
Trend analysis, because you say US bases across the world.
Yeah.
I mean, Ebi Koti 51, Ebi Koti 71, and all of that. In all those countries, a Muslim and Omo experience terrorist attacks.
Fantastic. In countries that Omo experience terrorist attacks,
yes,
those countries by themselves can ward off any terrorist attack.
Really?
Maybe we take Germany for instance. Germany, military-wise, they are so prepared. Say, if there's any terrorist attack, they can ward it off. But a place like Kenya, because of Kenya, we see what happens. Al-Shabaab every day.
Yes.
Yeah, they have a base there. What do I say?
A base in Kenya?
Oh yes. And I'm saying, say, is countries that are vulnerable to say developing countries to say,
yes.
A base is an invitation. I'm not saying Enunkwa is the exclusive reason terrorists beba.
But in Kenya, the base nearby after the attack.
Which of the attacks?
The Al-Shabaab on the US embassy.
The base came after.
Absolutely.
I'm not aware of that.
Because now the supporter US demand the Kenyan military to attack Al-Shabaab across the border.
You're missing it.
No, I'm
which attack was not the first one was not by Al-Shabaab. The one at the embassy.
No, it wasn't Al-Shabaab.
It was by
Al-Qaeda.
Okay.
Al-Shabaab the any send and say any pay fame.
Al-Shabaab is a recent
one more attack.
Al-Shabaab was
okay.
But a recent trend.
Okay.
The attack on the embassy happened way before the emergence of
that's 98, right?
Yeah, Al-Shabaab came recently.
No, make the attack on the embassy.
Yeah, I think so.
98.
I think so.
Okay. It was way before 2000.
Okay. Oh, what I say?
Okay.
And see, it is not sometimes merely being a friend of the US crowd could turn you into a target. Let's see Wabema Bizaba. It could be an invitation. I'm not saying Enunkwa Nebeya the trigger for but it could be one of the triggers. And secondly, I've made the point there. It makes your security vulnerable to a foreign country. Everything security in this country. And maybe we are underrating the fact that we are a sovereign country. We may be, it doesn't matter whether you're Swanase, Kessia. We need to have exclusive intelligence via NCC or via Etminya access to. But once you have a military base here, it will be difficult to deny them. Omukra, you don't even need to bring the information to them. With their base, they can money and say jitumu say yenyin kodru sa level na we can have sophisticated gadgets to prevent anybody infiltrating into our security systems to find information. What you say? Proximity makes it easy for people to get intel from your systems.
Yes.
And once they have a base, they can say that all kinds of no more gadgets, no. What you say?
Now, benefit for instance, disaster we have to bring people into if they are here. Don't you think there is no benefit to be?
The only benefit contained in this agreement is training. And I'm speaking to this agreement. I mean, I don't want to speculate about possible benefits. Okay. Agreement.
Okay.
It's a lopsided, you can say, agreement. Imposing so many obligations on us. I mean, the only a year almost say a training. And no kind agreement nuko wenima. It is subject to availability of funds. Until no automatic. I feel be better about now almost I feel with the in this country training. But everything else, and you see the difficulty in this, and say, we share agreement niswa. You see, I'm from Parliament, then ratify. It becomes a treaty, and every party to a treaty, the content is binding. It's binding. As a normal international agreement, you can renege on some of it, and you may be forgiven. But once it becomes a treaty, it's obligatory. It's binding on you. What you must say? Until we on our part. She knew once the agreement becomes a treaty, the copper and ratifier. Yen Timin Kasa, access na yaka say Bemamu, say at the Yen Timin Mamu, baby Ayaka say Bemamu, Mubit Missimo Dan, say at the Yen Tim. You cannot say that. What you must say? And near Kumi Krano, any this joke of granting them immunity, equivalent to that of diplomatic agents. It is absolute. Mami forward nunto. Okay. But because who can the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations now? Diplomatic agents are entitled to all kinds of immunities. For instance, who kind article I think 29 there about it talks about the inviolability of the person of a diplomatic agent, which means I want to me arrest you. Senipan be two obimu na wagana hakura to me arrest you. You go further, I think 31 there about. It also talks about the fact that they are immune from criminal jurisdiction. Yeah. Which means in Ghana,
by US law will take care of that.
You see, the sending state can decide. I mean, they still can exercise criminal jurisdiction over him.
Yes.
And it's not mandatory. But there are stories of soldiers baby
UN missions.
And American agreement here say omuni se hun kra ntimi nyomuhwe. What you say? They can decide to go on a killing spree. We have granted them immunity. Why are we granting them this immunity?
Just a bit of information. We said the 1998 United States Embassy bombings were attacks that occurred on August 7th, 1998, in which over 200 people were killed in nearly simultaneous truck bomb explosions in two East African cities. In the one at the U.S. Embassy in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, yes, and the other at the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi, Kenya. The attacks, which were linked to local members of the Egyptian Islamic Jihad, brought Osama bin Laden, Ayman al-Zawahiri, and their terrorist organization Al-Qaeda to the attention of the American public for the first time, and resulted in the FBI placing bin Laden on its 10 most wanted fugitives list. I think it's still
yeah. But this is good information though. It's good information. And what I say, it is a minute now. A grant you no. You can grant them some privileges, but to give them immunity equivalent to that of a diplomat, it doesn't make sense. What is the and maybe some who say, what is the motivation? Edian krana on person muye. I am more musa immunities now. Muntiminye. There is nothing on be person beye. Without the granting of immunity, no muntiminye. There is I'm not saying the entire agreement is bad, but there are some critical portions of the agreement, review them. We cannot have this agreement ratified in this, this present form.
In the current form,
it's in bad taste. Absolutely bad taste. And I would have expected, say, at this point, Parliament will act as a unit. but not act as representatives of interest.
Parties,
of interest.
Okay.
We Canadian we so. You see, at the end of the day, idea me person me who about the Ghanaian Parliament. Issue say ba. Yes or more say they will discuss the issues as a unit. And koya not just Sebi. Omunyina will take responsibility. Ekoyeswa omunyina will take credit. But issues to say we no. We are Canadian no we can at the end of the day numbers na be yejuma. And yen him say once the numbers no. They will whip their people in line to go and vote in favor of this rather unacceptable agreement no. What you say? Nti ebi mo si adini yen started discussions in here. But if history is an indication, yen say hardly do you find Okoboymu resisting and voting against one Kasomo bills. The very minute a bill emanates from the cabinet, just a fair complete.
Done deal.
It's done. You are I mean, except in some few isolated cases, PCRPO for remove and he didn't have it easy with his party. What you must say? You hardly find Nkrofua or members of a ruling party Omodi Bilaba speaking in vehemence against some portions or the entire bill. Say you're comfortable to Kunukra. Masa, it
is a miracle beyond happen or parliament. This
is coming into law.
Okay.
What do I say? And that is my fear. And Adiwe Ebeyem right we are. Look, and there are no even timelines. It's an open agreement. It could take forever.
Okay.
Unlike cross servicing agreement now which expired this year. Where there is an open agreement. And Kumi Kurani said, Ghana of one a draft ID.
Together with the US.
Oh, Chief. If you read the preamble.
Now treaty by a one party.
No, me but say who can preamble now. The agencies are omuka mutibomu on the Ghana side. And they allowed only Ghana to be the bearer of Ghana's obligations. Me don't want to see Ghana for one tradi.
Okay. Because
we should also Attorney General, Defense, Interior, Omunina were part of this process.
In who view in its current form and yet in the parliament in
exactly. Look, they should delete without any review, without any alteration. Delete the bit about immunity. No?
Immunity
and secondly, there has to be an imposition of some responsibilities
on the part of the US.
Exactly. Training
agreement.
Okay. We should not only be beneficiaries of training, which training is not even guaranteed. Almost can. And
even in the case of the training in Impono, so US embassy statement no by na training no training almost.
That's the thing. Until the end of the day, a agreement in favor of only one party, which is not fair.
Okay.
I'm not saying military and security cooperation bad. In fact, military alliances like the Warsaw Pact and NATO emphasize the need for military cooperation and the importance thereof. But this agreement,
okay. Economic Fighters League Commander-in-Chief Ernesto Kofi Ebo say positions are politicians say cooperation by agreement in it form this whole thing should be thrown away somewhere. And
the reason is
it infringes on our sovereignty as a country.
How
they are storming the parliament.
No, you see, me